clap to start this. So it's not like I'm going to avoid trying to do the thing. I'm going to make that gone. I'm going to start the review. So, Dracula Untold, I believe is the name of the movie officially, but I'm just going to call it Dracula. If you need specification, Dracula, parentheses 2014. That one. Yeah. So, I saw that the day I saw DeFranco Chicago. So, last week. Last Friday. So, quickie thoughts, and not too specific thoughts, before I get into the actual things that pertain to plot. So I want to get that through quickly. I promise this is not going to be painful. So, before this movie, the only person I knew that was in this was Luke Evans. If you don't know, he played, I believe his name was Bard in Hobbit, not Untold Story, Does Legend of Smaug. Then after watching the movie, he's still the only person I recognize from a previous movie. But I still like the other main characters, Sarah, I think Gaydon, something like along those lines. I think she did pretty good. Dominic Cooper I loved because most of the fact you could, from almost the beginning of like his entrance, you can tell this guy's a tool. And then, because the point that they're trying to get across is that this guy is a tool. And, although, I mean, he does have some good ideas there. But, all things aside, no. So now rating, mostly because I think this film, I mean, I did really like it more than, like, apparently a lot of people, is that, I like, let's take a traditionally bad guy, let's make him the star and the good guy. I like those types of, like, flips things, okay? Don't judge me. So I'm going to give this movie an 8, which if you've seen me rate things before, that's not incredibly good, but, I mean, I still liked it, like a lot. Well, maybe 7.5. 7.5 out of 10. It's like a 3 out of 4. If I got the NSS, I wouldn't be happy, but I wouldn't be too upset. Just go like that. So now, transition. I'm going to start with what? I'm going to go positive, negative, positive, negative. That's how I'm going to do this. So, first positive, everything just felt and looked utterly and completely badass. Like, the fight in the woods, that was dope. The fight in the castle, dude, that was epic. Because you know that when he walked in, because this is when he just became pretty much the vampire. But you know he's not like a full vampire, because it's weird. If you don't see the movie, you'll understand. Maybe, basically he's like, he's got a deal, but he can't like drink the blood, although he does have the awesome, cool fighting stuff. So, when he's coming, you know it's gonna be badass. Although, he just, like, running through him. Just, like, going ham, man. It was amazing. I loved it. All of it. Although, one negative, it actually goes back to, like, the last thing, in, like, the last fight scene, which, by the way, was still badass. But the thing was that when did it become part of Dracula? He can control how bats fly. I don't think that's a thing. I don't. Although I'm gonna admit, it still looked pretty dope when he just like dive it in, just brings down the fist, and then like the bats like has like a hole just hammered down. It's badass, but it doesn't make sense though. It just doesn't. Okay. So back to the positives. When when Vlad is going in to talk to, which by the way, and I quote, this is his official name, Master Vampire, in the cave for the second time, it was disturbing, because that was kind of what they were going for. So like, they're just having a conversation. Like, nothing about even any, like, vulgar or anything. They're just having a conversation in a movie, and I was deeply uncomfortable. Like, you don't understand, like, I was a little uneasy. Like, this is weird. But, like, the scratching on the neck thing, it was just weird and uncomfortable. And then with the cracked skull, then, like, the drinking of the blood, that whole ordeal was just uncomfortable. I thought the point was for it to be uncomfortable. That was the point. It was supposed to be creepy. It was probably, like, the biggest aspect of an actual horror film I can think of from a Dracula movie. Because I feel like, even though it is a Dracula movie, it's not really like a horror film-esque thing. Because I feel like that's what Dracula's should be. But it was more action. Which, knowing me, is a very good thing. Because I really like action. And horror films scare me. I'm not sure if I've actually ever seen a genuine horror film. I know because I got freaked out when they played the trailer for then they're redoing Saw. Like, I'm scared in the previews. I'm not gonna review that. Don't make me. I'll get scared. Post like comments if I should review Saw. Because, I mean, Halloween is a Friday, and that is when I usually would post something like a movie review. I'm setting myself up for a terrible time. I know it. But, if you want to see me be scared a lot, go for it. If not, you're just going to probably get another Joker vlog. So I think that's what I'm doing for Halloween this year. So, I think goes to the final negative. Basically the ending, which by the way, I did like the ending, how it like ties into like a romantic end. And how kind of in a sense the love doesn't die. But then, like, it shows multiple times that Vlad is, like, a Christian dude. Like, through and through. Like, he goes to pray, even, like, if you haven't forsaken me yet, I need your help with this. Like, there was a lot of things, like, the monks, like, it was a very, like, you can tell he's a very Christian person. And then it goes to the ending, it's basically reincarnation. I'm not sure if you understand this, but that doesn't really go hand in hand. That's not really how Christianity works. You can't just bring in reincarnation. Well, in the traditional sense of reincarnation, because that's how they did it. Because she was exactly the same person, but still Sarah. Maureen? Something like that. It was difficult to pronounce. It's been 4 days. Shut up. It was basically just like, it modernized, and he hasn't changed. And now the thing about it, he was walking outside, although it seemed like, I think the way we got around it was just, it was cloudy. I mean, typically I'd call out something like that, just for being like, really? That's your reason? But, I mean, keep things simple. So in the end, 7.5, because I feel like, I don't know. I did really like it. I'm giving this 0.5 more than IMDb did. Because I had to look up names. I'm terrible at knowing the names of people. Don't hate me. So, with that being said, I'm still going to give it 7.5. Because there's a lot of plot details I don't understand how that doesn't fit. Even though I do know this is supposed to be, like, going away from, like, the common, what you think of when you think of Dracula. There's still got to be some aspects like, when did this, like, arise in here? Or basically just a tale of Vlad the Impaler. And at this point, everyone's religion. Everyone's Christian. This is like, what's it like? He's like around 13th, 14th century Europe? Especially that part of Europe. Like, this is very religious here. And, okay, group chat's calling me back, so I gotta finish this. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Share with all your friends. I'll keep posting more. Comment what movies you wanted me to review next. Or, introductions, other stuff. Fuck you people. Ooh, I gotta finish this quick. Subscribe if you want to see more. I have to go yell about